Hi everyone, I'm Spike Brave, and I'd like to welcome you to my walkthrough of the MechWarrior Online Portal software. We'll take a look at how to get the software from the official website, how to install it, and the functions available in the portal. The first thing you'll need to do is open the browser of your choice and head over to mwomercs.com. Once you're on the MWO homepage, come down to the footer, and under the game heading, you'll find a download client link. Give him a click, and we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, here's where you can download the portal software. This one is pretty easy to find as it's the gigantic blue button. This page lists some of the functionality available in the portal. We'll cover those once we have the software installed. Also, there is a link to some instructions on how to use Steam to manage the MWO software. I tend to stick with PGI supported software for the tutorials I make on YouTube. But if you'd like to see a tutorial on using Steam for MWO, let me know in the comments. If you're curious, I prefer to use Steam to manage my game. So click the download button to get the portal installer. Okay, once the file is downloaded, you'll have a file called MWO Portal Installer.exe. Double click the file, or left click and select Install from the menu to begin. Windows will ask if you want to install. Click Yes, and the installer will launch. Now we are presented with the installer screen that will install the files we need for the portal. The first item in the list is the .NET framework you'll need to run the portal. This is a Windows-specific programming and runtime environment. It's completely safe, so don't worry about it being something malicious or bloatware. Well, at least as safe as anything Microsoft produces. Ensure the checkbox is checked if you need to install this. If this is already installed on your computer, you should get a message indicating the framework is already installed. This is the case for my machine. The second checkbox is for the actual portal software. Make sure this one is checked and hit install. If you want to stop the install instead, hit the cancel button and the software will quit. After you hit the install button, you'll see a progress bar, and when that bar finishes, it'll bring up the wizard for the portal. This one is easy. Click next to proceed with the install, or cancel to quit. Here we have the end user license agreement. Read as much or as little as you'd like. You can scroll down in the document by clicking on the text area and using the mouse scroll wheel to navigate through the pages. Once you're satisfied you've read enough of the EULA, check the box indicating you accept the license. You can use the print button to print the EULA, the back button to go back to the portal wizard page, and the cancel button to quit. Once you check the I accept box, you can click the next button to continue the install. This screen allows you to choose the file location for the installation of the portal. You can enter a location in the text area, or choose one by hitting the change button and selecting a location. Of course, you can just leave the default location. Again, we have back, next, and cancel buttons, which function as before. Click next to continue. This is just a final confirmation page. Click back if you want to change anything you've entered up to this point. You can use the cancel button to quit. Hit install to run the wizard, and it will install the portal on your computer. Now that the wizard has finished, you'll see the portal installer display a success message. Click finish to dismiss the installer. Sweet, the portal's been installed. Let's go through the functions provided by this application. We'll start with this hamburger menu on the top left. This is the portal options menu. Click the menu to display the options contained within. We can see 3 items in this menu. The first is a link that will take you out to the Microsoft website so you can download the DirectX software. This goes beyond the scope of this tutorial. If you'd like me to create a tutorial around getting and installing DirectX, throw a note in the comments and I will get to it as soon as I can. The second item allows you to change the temp directory for the downloaded MWO files during installs or patching. Entering nothing leaves a location within the game folders. The button with the ellipse allows you to select a file location. Hit OK to save the file location you've entered or cancel to close the pop-in. I would recommend using the default. The third option allows you to change the portal to display in small window mode. Clicking this removes some of the padding around the elements in the portal. Clicking the item again restores the normal window mode. Let's talk about the links across the top of the page. These will take you out. The first link is the game link. This link will take you out to the game section of the MWO website. Click it and it will open your default browser to the page. The next link is the media link. Same deal, but with a media page. You can see some videos, wallpapers, and such. Again, click it and it comes up in your default browser. Next up is the community link. Same again, but this time you go to a hub where you can easily find places to interact with different parts of the game community. Things like support, the forums, and the developers corner. Next is the forums link. This is the same stuff again, but this time it's a direct link to the MechWarrior Online forums. The next link is the support link. This link will take you to a page where you can open a request for support from the MechWarrior Online support team. And finally, we have the patch notes. This guy sends you to the current patch notes. Next up is the server status. This is exactly what it says on the tin. It will show the status of the MWO servers. If you see a green circle with the word online after the label, the servers are up and you're good to go. If it shows a red circle and offline, the servers are down. Check back later. Next up are your bog standard Windows buttons. The one with the minus sign is to minimize, and the one with the X closes the window. Using the X will also end the application. Next, let's talk about the MC button. This yellow icon with the MC on it will take you out to the MWO website where you can buy in-game credits with real-world currency. The in-game credits are called MechWarrior credits, hence the MC on the icon. The use of the website is beyond the scope of this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a tutorial for buying MC, but I'll wager just about everybody is familiar with online purchases. Okay, let's talk about the gift store next. This is similar to the MC button. It will take you out to the section of the MWO website that allows you to purchase mechs as gifts for other players. Let's talk about the events button next. This button will take you to the section of the MWO website that provides information about the events that are currently active. Up next, we have the profile button. This button will take you to your profile on the MWO website. Let's talk about the ad carousel next. You can see that this carousel will loop through a few news items that the MWO team wants to highlight to the players. You may use these yellow arrows to navigate to the next item or wait for the carousel to loop automatically. Clicking on any of these images will take you to the corresponding article on the website. I would like to talk about the latest news section next. The top of this section contains links to the MWO social media in the yellow header. You can see here is Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The body section contains links to the latest news articles posted on the MWO website. Click any of these to view the articles. Let's talk about installing the game client. Make sure that you have the MechWarrior Online button selected here, and then click the Install button located here. Now we have the MechWarrior Online setup wizard for the client. You can click Next to continue the installation process, or click Cancel to stop. We're back to another end user license agreement screen. This works exactly like the last one. Click in the text area and use your scroll wheel on your mouse to navigate through the EULA if you'd like to read it. You can print it, you can go back, you can of course cancel, and if you accept the license agreement, that will give you the next button. So let's click the next button and move to the next step. This screen allows us to select the destination folder that MechWarrior Online Client will be installed to. I recommend using the default, but you can change it by either typing into this text area or using the change button to select a location for your install. Of course, we have a back button that allows us to go back, a cancel button that allows us to cancel, and a next button that takes us to the next step in the install process. Here's a confirmation screen that works very similarly to the last one that we encountered. We can use the back button to go back and change any selections that we made, a cancel button to stop, and of course, we can click the install button to install with the parameters that we've selected. As you can see, we get a nice little progress bar, and that will guide us through the rest of the install process. All that's left for us to do is click the finish button to end our session with the setup wizard. Now that I've completed my setup, you can see that the portal has changed just slightly. It's currently downloading the client. It's telling me how far my progress is here and how much is left to go. Once this is done, I'll come back and we'll show you what the portal looks like once the client has been completely downloaded. Okay, the portal has finished downloading the files it needs. Now we can see that the progress bar has, of course, gotten a little bit bigger, but it's also changed its message that it's telling us what it's doing. So instead of downloading, it's preparing the install base. These type of messages will continue to change. You can see now it's installing game. And I will come back as soon as everything's installed, and we will see what the patch looks like once all the files are installed. Okay, the install has finished up, and as you can see, the install button has gone away and it's changed to this play button here. If I click that, it'll launch the login screen, and I will cover that in my next tutorial. But before we finish up here, I'd like to talk a little bit about the public test client as well. All right, to finish up, let's talk about the public test client. Right underneath the MechWarrior Online button, you see that we have the MWO public test button. So if we click that, you can see our patch changes just a little bit. Goes back to having an install button and then information about the public test session. You can see it still has a server status. In this case, it's unknown because there's no public test currently going on. This process is exactly the same as the client install. Due to the size of the files, I'm not going to go through this process again, but just know that you can follow the exact same process for the regular client to install this public test client. That'll give you access to any test environments that the MWO devs would like to expose to the community to allow for testing of certain new features. This doesn't happen very often, but if it ever does, this is where you can get that test client to try things out for yourself. This is the end of the video. I think I've gone through every possible thing that is available in the MWO portal. If you have any questions or concerns or would like to see a specific tutorial, please leave me a note in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, have great luck, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.